Hello, I'd like to welcome you to my home. My name is Craig Parkin, and it's a real pleasure for me to be here, to be connecting with you, and to be dialoguing with you. One of the most important things in my life is trying to make the world a better place. And in talking to people, it seems like it's a common subject that comes up is people's feeling about their own success, their own experience of wealth, their own experience of money, and either having enough or too much, or the constant battle people are dealing with it. And it's something that I've dealt with my entire life. And I think that sometimes when you mess up so many different ways and learn from it, then you have something valuable to say. And I've had the pleasure of being around quite a few people that felt like by their conversations with me, by their dialogue with me, they were able to expand their idea of what wealth is to them. And I even wrote a book about it. It's called How to Experience Wealth No Matter What. And it's, I think it's an important point because I think people really feel evaluated by their money. You know, when we're young, we're evaluated by our parents' approval, and then our people around us approval, and then very quickly, it seems like it comes on to we measure our success by comparing ourselves to what others have and what we have. And it seems like there's almost this virus or disease in our culture that money is your evaluation of how you are as a person, and that there's almost never enough. I've been around billionaires and I've been around people that have absolutely nothing. And what I noticed is that the experience of wealth had absolutely nothing to do with how much money they have or how much wealth they possess. It's my contention, my belief, that wealth is an experience, and that if you think back on times when you experienced wealth, when you felt most wealthy, it most likely had nothing to do with how much money you were spending. It had to do with an experience of your own well-being. And so it's my contention, and what I am all about is having people realize that wealth is an experience. It's not an amount of money. The example that I give oftentimes is, imagine who has more of an experience of wealth. Bill Gates buying a new jet airplane, or the kid in Mexico who saved up for 2 years to be able to buy a little scooter. Well, I'll tell you for sure the kid in Mexico had a greater experience of wealth. And yet we have this idea that what would it take for you to be wealthy? And most people, 99% of people, will tell you an amount of money for them to possess. But it has nothing to do with what you possess. It has to do with how you hold it. You know, you can go to a really small village and there'll be the rich guy in that village. And then you can go to another village that has more money, and then there's the rich guy, and it's all the same dynamics. Billionaires in New York City comparing themselves among each other and feeling dissatisfied if one guy has a bigger yacht than, or jet airplane than the other guy. And so I made up this saying that money allows you to be dissatisfied with better and better things. So that if you're broke, McDonald's is greasy. But if you have some money, I don't like the maitre d's attitude. And this is so prevalent. I experienced in my own life when I started coming into having more money. And I was eating in fancier and fancier restaurants and wanting better and better clothes. And I realized that I was raising my standard of what it took for me to be happy and satisfied. But I wasn't feeling happy and satisfied. And it really shifted. And I would say the main one, and you've heard it 1,000 times, but it's so true, is gratitude for what you have. In this moment, what you have, and not comparing it to somebody else. There's a very famous story about the princess and the pea. You know, it's about a boy that meets a girl in the forest, and she brings her home, and the mother says, well, who are you? And she says, oh, I'm a princess. And the mother doesn't believe it. So that night, the mother stacks 11 beds and puts a little pea underneath the first bed, and Then she sleeps up there, and in the morning, the mother says, so how did you sleep? And she said, I slept terrible. And the mother's all happy. Oh, you are a princess. And to me, this is miserable, because this is showing that maybe your daughter-in-law will never be happy with anything because her standard is so high. So what I want to say to you is to maybe take a look at your own standards of what it takes for you to be happy, what it takes for you. Like if I ask people, what would it take for you to be happy? They say, oh, I'd have to have more money. And I flip them a nickel and I say, okay, you can be happy now. You have more money. How much money are you thinking it would take for you to be happy? Look at it. Is it an amount? A new car, a new house. Oh, I could live this, I could do this. But really, wealth comes from wellness and being happy with what you have. And guess what? There's something very, very magical that happens. When you are grateful and when you are happy and satisfied with what you have, more comes. I can guarantee it. It's like in the book, Experiencing Wealth No Matter What, I said, if money was a person in your life, how would you describe that person? Would you say, oh, they're very picky, they're very mysterious, they're very fickle, sometimes they come, sometimes they go, they're very, very difficult. And now I say, if someone described you like that, would you want to hang out with that person? For me, money is mysterious and magical and fun, and you never know where it's going to come from. You know, you have to start thinking outside your normal boundaries. We have such boundaries in the way that we think. And I say now, if a money tree started growing out of your carpet, you would kick it down because, oh, that doesn't happen. When you listen to people, another point that I made in my book is that I have this idea that every thought that we have is the answer to an unconscious question. And if you listen to people very carefully, really listen, you can always hear what their question is. And so much of the time people are trying to defend themselves for why they don't have what they think they should have. Oh, the economy is bad. Oh, I didn't have enough education. Oh, there's no opportunity in this country. Oh, the politics are bad. And it's like, life is a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you make these observations, when you make these points, the question you are answering to yourself is, why do I not have enough? And your brain will always come up with answers. Your brain is this incredible tool. You can ask it any question, it'll come up with an answer. So you can ask it, why do I not have enough? Or you can ask it, what's the highest good? How can I be more grateful for what I have? How can I open my mind for allowing more and make a better difference on this planet? And I want to thank you very much for this. I just kind of want to wrap it up now. It's our first time. But I want you to know that I'm going to speak to you not like I'm talking to a camera. And I know that when you're seeing me on this video, you've watched so much TV and you've seen so many screens. But I want you to know something. I'm speaking to you, because I'm going to that place inside of myself where we truly are all one. And I want you to know that the pain that you feel about not having enough, it's a real pain. And I've been through it in my life. Even when I had lots, that pain didn't go away. And so what we're talking about is getting to the very root of you accepting yourself for who you are and allowing you to experience true and magnificent wealth, no matter what. And there is nothing that would make me happier than to actually dialogue with you. And I make a promise to you, and I'm not talking to everyone, I'm talking to you. I will answer your comment, and I will take the time, and I don't care how many there are. I will make the time to respond to you as an individual, because you deserve that. Thank you.